Project Hail Mary. The book has been made into a movie. We have seen it here on Eat Sleep Nerd. So in this episode, we're going to be starting off with sharing our spoiler-free feelings and score. I'm your host, Corey Winter, and joining me here for this episode, we got Jason Summer.
Fist my bump.
We got my wife, Cynthia Winter.
Not quite, but you're almost there.
And we got Darth Vader.
You have failed me for the last time.
And we got our nerdy friend, Christian James.
What's up?
All right. So, yes, we will be talking about the brand new movie starring Ryan Gosling, Project Hail Mary. We, three of us here, have actually read the book before going into this movie. We actually have one outsider here, Christian, that has not read the book.
For once, it's not me.
Of course, the book reader has read the book.
I have purpose.
Yeah. So we actually do have a little bit of differing perspectives going into this movie. And so much so that you didn't even know what the movie really was going into it. You went
No.
You didn't
Not
watch
quite.
any trailers.
Didn't you
or
ask what
anything.
genre this was?
Yeah.
While we were sitting there, like, I think as the lights came down, or right before, he was like, "Hey, so what genre is this book?" And I said, "Speculative sci-fi." And he went, "Okay."
Got it.
Yeah. We're in for a hell of a ride.
I remember seeing like glimpses of just Ryan Gosling's face floating around on the screen, but I was never really paying attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, movie. And then the group chat blew up about this movie. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go. So
Sweet.
All right.
here I am.
I love that.
Love that for you.
I'm really interested to.
I
hear
think
what you
unless you go into a movie fully prepared, like having read a book, having watched all the trailers, unless you do that, you need to go in totally blind.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be one or the other.
Hard agree. All right, so without further ado, we're going to share our Eat Sleep Nerd scores first, and then we'll share our feelings about our scores. The reason we do this is because we don't want to influence each other's scores. So we all watched this together. We just got back from the theater about, 10 minutes ago. And this is fresh on our minds, but we have not talked about it together. So we have no idea how each other's feeling about this movie. So we're going to share our individual scores, and the way this works on Eat Sleep Nerd is we average all of our individual scores together to give us the overall Eat Sleep Nerd score. So it's on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the absolute best. Jason likes decimal points. We let him have them.
Yes,
so we'll see where this goes.
4.5.
Oh, okay.
The gasp.
I can't wait to watch that reaction back. I cannot wait. Jason, what'd you say?
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was so flabbergasted after 2 that I actually forgot to listen. Wow. I was about to be really hurt.
I am also going to give it a 2. I mean, a 4.5.
Every time.
You said 4.5?
4.5.
Nice.
All right. So I struggled with this one a little bit because I have like 3 different scores in mind, and they're all based on how I'm interpreting this movie. Am I interpreting this movie just based on it being a movie? Or am I watching this movie as how well did they take the book and adapt it into a movie? Or how well did they take that book and crush it down into 2.5 hours
Yeah.
while knowing that they're going to have to leave something out?
Yeah.
So I consider all those things coming into my story. Just letting
I
you know.
can't, though.
Yeah, it's really hard. It is really hard. And honestly, this is probably the first time that I've read a book prior to seeing the movie. So I was really having trouble, like,
He gets it
they
now.
missed that part.
He
but,
He gets it.
I understand the struggle now. I'm going to give it, I think, a 4 out of 5. And it's a really solid 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid.
Solid.
4.
Solid.
I'll explain my sub-scores in a little bit, but Cynthia, what are you thinking?
Okay. The 3 scores you described are also my exact same issue. And I don't know how to do an overall score, but I think, like, I'll probably have to give 3 scores. But the one that I want you to take right now is 4.7.
No.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
That's
All
kind of
right.
averaging all of them, kind of not, kind of just, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
We'll
it.
talk about
We
it.
will discuss.
I was thinking 4.8 until I started talking. So
Wow. So that's very close to a 5.
So you
Mhm.
knocked your own self down a tenth of a point.
I did
Okay.
because I'm having to consider all of them.
All right, so we'll explain our thoughts and the reasons why we gave our scores in a second. But can you guys guess what our overall Eat Sleep Nerd score is for this movie?
I didn't do math. 4.6.
Which
Oh wait, 4.4.
Nice, 4.425
She can
out
do
of
math.
5. So we're gonna round that up to a 4.54 out of 5. I'll
Fool.
put the fun and graphic there in post. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Solid
Solid.
movie
solid.
all
Yeah.
around.
Happy.
All right, so we're going to start with some spoiler-free, reminder, spoiler-free feelings about this movie. So think big picture stuff. So story, well, not too detailed in story, but like just atmosphere setting, world building, character development, acting, visuals, all that stuff.
Acting.
All that stuff. Tell me how we felt, and then we'll get into some spoilers later, but starting spoiler-free.
I'm torn between hearing you or you 1st
Mhm.
because I either want the one was like the book or I know nothing about this.
I
And I
love
don't know which one I want to know first.
We'll do it at the same time.
Okay.
He can
Go.
fix it in post.
Yeah.
We have separate mics. He can fix it in post. Put me in one ear, Christian in the other ear.
Yeah.
Come sit with you guys.
Rock, paper, scissors? Like, what do we do?
Yeah. What happened here?
Who do you want first?
I want book reader first.
Okay. My biggest concern going into this movie, other than will they make it a good adaptation, was is Ryan Gosling right for this? Because from the moment we saw the very first... Are you good?
Yep.
He's kicking Darth Vader under the table. From the moment we saw the very first trailer, my concern was, I'm not sure that's how I pictured Ryland Grace. And his immediate reaction was, Ryan Gosling is perfect for this.
Yeah, he was. It's like when I was reading the book, he was who I pictured even before they really announced the casting.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. That was my biggest concern. And you were 100% correct because Ryan Gosling was
Nailed it.
perfect in that role.
It's like that's the way I typically read books. I typically just pick an actor or some person in real life to kind of fill the face in my head
Mhm.
as I'm reading. He was the face I pictured for some reason. So I think as far as casting goes, they nailed it.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
It was great. They really did nail it.
How'd they do the casting for Rocky for you? Was that good?
It was good.
All right.
Nice.
It was pretty accurate to how it was described in the book. For some reason, I pictured him bigger, but I think that's a me issue. And I pictured him a little more, I don't know, it was very minor things like a little darker, a little rockier, a little, I don't know, the vent thing.
They nailed the spider aspect of
They
it.
did.
Obviously, the rock part of it. I definitely pictured him a little bit bigger as well.
Mhm.
But I think as far as everything else goes,
Like it
they
was,
nail
it
Yeah.
was a good adaptation. It wasn't exactly what I pictured, but what I pictured was based on the same description, and there was room for.
But anyway, you missed my joke. I didn't actually mean for you to.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
I'm just so excited.
All right, so the rest of the movie. Feelings.
Remember, no spoilers.
No spoilers. I think they did a good job sticking to the storyline. I like. Is that a spoiler? Hold on.
She hasn't said anything. It's
Well, I'm planning. I think they did a good job with the overall storyline. They stuck to it. Pacing wise, it was pretty good. Pretty good for a movie adaptation.
See that? Yeah. See, that's where.
That's where I have the biggest issues. But it's also that score of I understand what they have to do to crush it down into 2.5 hours.
Yeah, like this was not a short movie. It's like they did as much as they could with the time they had. Like it was what I think 2 hours and a little bit more than half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird way to say that, but
2 hours and a little bit more than half.
There's
an
2
hour.
hours, and there was like half an hour more, and maybe a little bit on top of that. But so I always take notes as we're watching movies, and I'm sure the people behind me love that. But the first note I made was they really jam-packed the first third of this movie into like 20 minutes.
Yes.
And they glossed over a lot of stuff.
Third of
That-
the book.
Yes.
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 Is that what no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they like I'll say that for the spoiler section, but
Yeah.
a lot of like the character development for
Mhm.
telling us what situation Ryland is really in was glossed over. And I think a big aspect of it was how the space scenes relate to the flashbacks on Earth, how they relate to each other was very heavily glossed over.
Mm-hmm. It took, like, I've read the book
mhm.
and I know how it's set up between the memories, the flashbacks, and the current situation. And it even took me a while, knowing that that's what they were doing, it took me a while to realize, oh, yeah, they're relating. It's going to tell you. But it also makes sense that they didn't.
Yeah.
Because they had to gloss over so much at the beginning of the movie with memory loss.
Yeah.
Which is a main point. Like, but because they had to gloss over that so hard, it makes sense that they didn't connect immediately. Like, oh, this and this, the flashback and the current.
Yeah.
They just kind of took you along for the ride.
Yeah. So with that in mind, so we were thinking a lot was glossed over, but not knowing what was glossed over, how were you feeling about especially the setup of the movie, but also just the movie as a whole?
You never really expect to be spoon-fed like plots, and but the way that they did it was pretty good. Like it seemed long enough to really get the stakes, but short enough to let the rest of the movie go.
Did it feel like any of it was rushed through, like you kind of got lost with them explaining the situation and everything?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I wouldn't say so. Because you have A problem, B problem came, C problem, boom.
Okay.
That's all I needed.
I worried. Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to watch it from the perspective of, obviously, someone who's read the book, but I tried to put myself in a position of, if I didn't have this prior knowledge, would I be following this? And I thought it was really clever the way they introduced some things that took 30 pages to explain in the book. Like, what astrophage is.
Yeah.
They didn't even say, oh, we're going to call it this. It was just written on the board. And I thought that was a really clever way to do it, but I thought it might be kind of hard to follow what's really going on with that if they don't explain it, but it's also because I was expecting it to be explained more in detail. If it was easy to follow, then it was easy to follow. Good job on them.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that specifically, like all the science behind it, because it goes so in depth in the book. I mean, there are just calculations upon calculations upon calculations detailed in the book. And since none of that was there, I was like, I'm not sure I'd follow this, but that's because that's what I was expecting.
Yeah. Same feelings. I was kind of worried they were powering right through all of the first half of the book to get to the second half of the movie, whereas the buddy cop stuff. I feel like they were really trying to get to that part. But anyway, Jason.
Yeah.
So you also thought very highly of this. You read the book as well. What'd you think?
So couple just high level stuff. I love the score and I love the soundtrack.
Yes.
The movie was visually stunning. It was a feast, I think, for the eyes. The way that they portrayed some planets and how they, when they were going through, ship maneuvers and things like that. It was just beautiful. And I loved how they did it. I thought there was a lot of creativity in some things, which I just thought was great. Again, the music, I just sat there going several times over, I need to get this soundtrack. So I will be looking for that. My primary concerns going into the movie, because I knew they weren't going to be able to hit everything. Yeah. But there were big points to me that I felt were important to the spirit of the book. And they are not, those things to me are not generally considered positive things in a movie. And I was afraid that they were not going to do them and portray things that they in a way that they were not in the book, or I was afraid they're going to end the movie differently than the book.
Yeah, I was too.
So I was very pleased. And because they hit these major points, I decided not to go in worrying about the little stuff.
Sure.
But the big stuff, I was like, this has to happen. And they did that. And that's how come I was able to enjoy the movie as much as I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say to that point, this is a very faithful adaptation of the book. There is a lot of stuff that's missing just because it had to be pared down to fit into 2.5 hours. Can confirm it was 2 hours and 36 minutes. So just over that half-hour mark.
2 hours and a half hours.
just past half 12.
Yeah. But yeah, everything was faithful. There were some slight details changed just for the pacing and just to fit it into the movie. But overall, the story was in place. The characters were in place. This was extremely faithful adaptation to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I very much do agree with that. I will say I did have some character complaints. There was one big character complaint, I think, and it was really maybe a casting issue, not necessarily the way the character was written for the movie.
I wonder if it's the same as my issue.
It is Strat.
Yes.
She came across a lot more badass in the book.
She was so
Yes.
cold in the book,
Yeah.
and they changed that. That it wasn't just that it didn't come across; they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we'll talk. Well,
Yeah.
that's got to be a spoiler thing.
Yeah, we'll say that first. But like, I will just say, like, in the book, she was very much I have all of the governments of the planet under my power. They will do whatever I want.
HBIC.
And in the movie, she is almost timid. I
Mhm.
think it was very odd. Like, still very much made all the same decisions and stuff. It's just, I feel like,
The gravitas was not
Yeah.
there.
She had.
yeah.
I don't want to say too much empathy because that's not it. Because she had empathy in the book
hmm
to a point, but like,
She knew she had to make the hard decisions.
yeah,
In the
timid.
book.
Timid
Yeah.
is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little bit reserved.
And maybe that was just an attempt to give the character more emotion just for the acting aspect of it, which I would agree worked
Yeah.
in that actress's favor.
Well, I kind of think that they may have done that to balance out a decision that she made later.
Sure.
To not
Yeah.
make her seem so horrible.
yeah.
You know,
And-
so
That goes with a detail that I don't remember from the book
Mm.
with her storyline.
okay.
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 That
Okay.
I think.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor
Other.
Christian. He's like, book. Yeah.
We'll get.
Yeah, I'm here.
Visuals.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Incredible.
Yes.
So they came out before the movie that the directors, Chris Lord and Phil. Nope. Did I get that name backwards? Phil Lord, Chris Miller. Same guys that made the
Martian.
the animated Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse.
The
And
Martian? I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
no. Same writer. They also made 21 Jump Street. Anyway, point is,
Interesting.
this was very much a left field movie for them, and I feel like they pulled it off because before this movie came out, they're like, there's really no green screen in this movie whatsoever. Obviously visual effects, but there's no green screen. So everything you're seeing is either practical effects like the set pieces,
Mhm.
or everything is done in computer, like obviously all the space stuff.
Did they do those LED?
I'm not sure.
screens? Okay.
But yeah, they said no acting was done in front of green screens.
It shows.
Yeah, it was
It
beautiful.
was gorgeous.
Beautiful. Like, calling it right now. Oscar for best visual effects.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least a nom.
Yeah.
I had the
Nom,
same
nom,
thought. as
No, no,
soon
no,
as
no,
it
no, no,
started.
no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as it started, I was like, man, the Oscars just happened. We have to wait another year to find out what this gets.
Yeah.
And seriously, I kind of want it for music at this point because that was
Oh, man.
I feel like it's going to be in quite a few categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be one of my questions for you guys, but are we
There you go.
seeing some
Okay.
end of year awards for this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So bringing it back to the directors, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and maybe this goes into more of the cinematography aspect of it. There were some very, maybe not so subtle, but creative choices with like the camera work and stuff. Like when it was on Earth, there were a lot of like rotating camera angles, kind of emulating the centrifuge aspect that we're seeing in space. So I kind of like how they're doing all that symmetrical stuff between the two storylines.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, if that's the only way they were really connecting that their flashbacks happening in the present moment,
Mhm.
like that's how they conveyed it,
hmm
which was extremely subtle.
And maybe
But it
that's
worked,
maybe
but I
that
think
was all
that's the
very
point.
yeah. Maybe it was all very intentionally. Just a lot of it is something you like, show, not tell.
Yes.
I appreciate that they didn't
Yeah.
spoon feed it.
Yes.
I really do.
Okay. Okay. Any final thoughts before we get into spoilers? I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, it was just a stunning movie. Like along with like the no green screen thing, like you can definitely tell with the lighting choices to do on pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get across the fact of his disorientation and breakthroughs and whatnot, it was beautiful.
Stay tuned next week for our spoiler discussion, where we get into all the fun details and stuff of this movie and how it compares to the book. Yet again, that comes out next week, so stay tuned. And that's going to wrap us up for this episode of Eat Sleep Nerd. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@EatSleepNerd. Leave a like in this video, leave some comments down below. If you want to join in on the conversation, please keep it spoiler-free. And also, please share us with your friends and family. That goes a long way into supporting this channel. And don't forget to check out our shop, shop.eatsleepnerd.com. You can find t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, mugs, hats, bunch of stuff, bunch of different sizes, all different colors. Shop.eatsleepnerd.com. Support our channel. And Jason,
What?
3 things nerds should be doing before they go save planet Earth.
Well, definitely get some astronaut training because you're gonna have to go into space for that.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, after you did all that, in your downtime, eat, sleep, and nerd.
Take it easy, people.